Yes, I have 3 MIDI drum controllers. Let me explain. The first one is a Yamaha Digital Drum DD50. It has 20 onboard drum kits. It has 100 onboard songs, so you can play along with it. It's like a band in the box. It's got all the pads you see, plus 2 pedals that I had to mount to a board, otherwise they'd slip away. When I got it, I hadn't even heard it. I just knew that it had MIDI out, so I was going to use it as a trigger for some of my sound modules. Some of them were samplers, some of them were keyboards. They all had drum sounds. On this thing, you can make changes to the pads themselves, to the kit, to the song, to the tempo. You can change the volume of the song per the kit. You can control the drums and the bass and the backing sounds. Here's a sample. And here are some of the drum sounds. Clearly Yamaha's prosumer level drums, but what do you want for a couple $100? And here's some of the stick action on each of the pads. Next up is my very own 16-pad handmade controller. There are 14 pads up top, and then there's space for 2 pedals. The brains of the organization is the Roland PM16 controller. It takes your signals from a piezo transducer and it translates it into MIDI data that any MIDI device can read. Here's a sample of the stick action. From this view, you can see that if you don't have the stand, you can lay it on a tabletop and it'll be a tabletop drum controller. Here you can see that a screw has been used as a button to hold on the top mouse pad, which holds each pad together. And under the mouse pad, a transducer is sandwiched in between 2 old exercise mat pads. This arrangement makes it really easy to make repairs if necessary. In between each of the pads is a hose. The hose has been cut to fit over all the electronics. Each pad's transducer terminates in a 1/4-inch jack. A 1/4-inch patch cord connects the jack to the PM16. The pedal works the same way as each pad. It's got the transducer and the pads around it with a mouse pad on top, and the pedal is held up with a hinge with a spring. And finally, here's the TrapKAT. 22 pads up top, plus ports for bass and hi-hat pedals. The 4 buttons on the floor in the middle are a repurposed PV foot switch for an amplifier. Those 4 buttons control the kits, how each pad works, how it works globally, and how you make changes to the MIDI implementation. And when you put them all together, you get the mega digital drum set. And when you plug them into a great sound module, it gets even better. And here's what it sounds like if you forget to turn on the sound module. Just kidding. Here's what it really sounds like.